recently came across this video of a plus-size guy who could not fit in the seat of his car rental.
Renting a car as a big guy is not a fun experience. I've lost 200 pounds and I thought like maybe I can fit in it, but I couldn't fit. And having someone watch you get into a car and not be able to fit is super shitty feeling. I can only blame myself for this. Like I got this big and it sucks to have to experience life like this where it's not always sunshine and rainbows, but I can't blame anyone else either. Like it's my fault. We roll with the punches, move forward, continue losing weight, right? Get better, get healthier.
Now this right here is just insane. Lee frickin' awesome. This is exactly what accountability actually looks like. He didn't blame the car, he didn't blame the company, he didn't turn into some victim. He said, this one's on me, and he kept moving forward. That mindset alone puts him ahead of 99% of people who will never take accountability for their actions. Because the truth is, life doesn't get easier when you sit there and just complain. It gets easier when you change the inputs that made fitting into a car a problem in the first place. This is the difference between someone who stays the same and someone who changes. Ownership creates momentum. So the moment you stop asking why me and start asking, okay, what can I do differently, everything.
The other man deserves more credit, right? He deserves even more credit. Where like the other guy was saying, right, that it's rare. It's rare to, not see yourself as a victim. In today's day and age, right? In today's day and age, people who most likely post online, more often than not, sees themselves as a victim or may put themselves into victimhood. It is rare to see, in my opinion, to see someone actually taking accountability. Someone that don't blame, certain racial groups. Someone don't blame certain genders. Don't blame certain, people of certain like wealth status for all their problems, for any of their problems. But they view that, in their life, they are the problem. They are the reason why their life is how it is, and I love it. It's refreshing. It's empowering to see someone that doesn't like see the world as his enemy, but see that he himself is his own worst enemy. He himself is what has gotten him into the situation that he's gotten in, and is keeping him in the situation he's getting into, right? That he's in. So it is amazing, right? And that right there is true accountability. I love it. Much praise to that man. I hope he keeps on his journey to being the best version of himself, and that's all you can ask for, right? Just to be the best version of yourself, the version that will bring you happiness, that will bring you contentment. Amazing.
You need to be in good shape to be a personal trainer.
I just personally wouldn't take advice off. Let's say, put it into example, I want to set up a business. I wouldn't go to someone who's never owned a business.
That would be like going to a personal trainer who's not a qualified personal trainer. That's different to this because I am qualified.
I feel like it's just morally correct for a personal trainer to be in shape. That's all.
Morally correct. The idea that you think that the way I exist in the world and the job I choose to do is morally incorrect, which is pretty much what you've just said, really bothers me. I show people they don't need to look a certain way to join a gym.
No, 100%.
Without me putting myself out there and doing what I do, they would never walk through the gym door because the gym is overwhelming. The fact that you feel that me doing that job is morally not great has bothered me because I
Well, you can do it. That's what you can do it. You can do whatever you want.
But it's morally incorrect.
If you're out of shape, then
So it is.
it's unhealthy. Again, it's unhealthy. It's just unhealthy.
You need to be.
I don't know if I would say it's morally, right? Morals, but I would say maybe it's dishonest in a way. Okay, yes, you don't have to look a certain way to go to the gym, okay? But you should look a certain way after completing, a training, right? Completing a regiment, completing a training session, right? If you pay for a trainer, you would kind of want certain results, okay? And let's say this, right? There's I think maybe a better analogy. Like you wouldn't want to take financial advice from a homeless person, even if the homeless person is saying, "Oh, you should put your money into a high-yield savings account." It makes sense, but you would think about why didn't you follow it? It's like even if great, she knows do 10 push-ups, right? She knows all that stuff, whatever. But it's like I don't get it, right? It's like a disassociate, right? You're disassociating from the experience where how come you don't want to follow it, right? How come you don't want to follow your own plan? It just makes me feel like I think it will make some people feel like why wouldn't you follow your own training, your own regiments, your own teachings, your own logic, right? Why didn't you follow it? And it's like, and then it makes people question, like, so if I even follow you, even though it sounds plausible, am I going to get the results that you have? Because it's like, this is the thing where you want to take financial advice from someone who's a millionaire. You want to take dating advice from someone who, always has someone, right? Always has a woman. Why would you take dating advice from, let's say, someone who's never had a girlfriend, even if this advice sounds sound, right? Why would you take that financial advice from someone who's dirt poor? Even if it sounds sound, right? She got a degree, great. But again, it makes you disassociate, from the person to the training. It's like it doesn't motivate you, right? That's the thing where I think particularly when it comes to exercise, motivation is such, I think, if not one of the biggest factors when it comes to exercising. If you're not motivated, you're not pushed. Now, a fat person, in a sense, maybe even kind of obese person, telling you to, oh, come on, you can do it, you can do it. Like, trying to motivate you, it feels weird, right? I don't know, maybe I'm off, right? But it just feels like it's disingenuous. It feels like it's coming from the wrong person, right? That's the thing. So I want to say it's morally wrong, right? Because I don't know, you could say morality in it, but I would say a bit dishonest, or it's I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of another word for it, but it's just, I don't think that's how it goes. Now, she could do whatever she wants, of course, but I think I just can never understand people who have the logic, right? Have the knowledge, people who have knowledge, but they don't implement it, and it makes you question why, right? If you know how to get more healthy, more fit, or more wealthy, why don't you use it? It's sus to me.
So you already know that I'm a fat girl who loves to so come with me at Chris and Eddie.
I'm gonna be tracking her calories.
Started off with a vanilla shake, and it was really good.
Right around 500 calories.
I got some yummy loaded cheese fries, and it was so delectable.
Closest thing I could find to this online was a little under 600 calories.
I got my first burger Eddie's way. His second slider was Chris's way.
Around 1,200 calories for both the burgers. The sauce, if it's a normal traditional burger sauce, it tacks on another 400 or 500 calories. I compared this to the Big Mac sauce. In conclusion, she had around 2,900 calories.
My thing is that, first I want to say that I hate people who overact. I really do. It's so annoying, right? It's like, oh, it's just really annoying when people overact, because then you're just not being genuine, but whatever. I'll say this, right? I don't care how people want to live their life, okay? If you want to live your life fat, cool. My own thing is accountability, right? You are free to do whatever you want. You're just not free from consequences, right? So those consequences may be you get bullied. I'm sorry, that's the world. When you make yourself a big target, you're an easy target. Or you complain about, oh, I've seen it before, right? You complain about airplane seats, you complain about like you constantly complain, right? That's my thing, where it's accountability, right? You want to live the life you want to live, but then you complain that the world doesn't conform to you, or the world doesn't change to fit you. But that's not how the world works, okay? That's not how the world works. The world doesn't, you can't force the world to change to fit you. Okay, we constantly have people who are entitled, the minority, right? The minority of people constantly want the world to fit them. They want the majority to follow the minority. That is an insane concept, right? That don't make sense. So my thing is just that, at the end of the day, you can live the whatever life you want, but then you complain about it shows you that you are honestly an idiot and your own worst enemy. Because I've seen, I'm not talking about her because this is the first time I've seen her. I've seen certain fat people, eat like crazy, and then complain about, oh, they're fat, complain about, how other people treat them. Do you not see that you have a hand in that? Now, you can't control how bad people will be bad, right? I'm not saying that, you deserve it. But what you can control is your own habits. You didn't have to eat yourself silly, right? You didn't have to eat yourself until you are madly obese. You didn't have to do that. You did it because of your choice. Well, again, you have freedom of choice. You don't have freedom of consequences. And, bullying can be a consequence, right? So that's my thing, right? I don't care how people want to live. You can live how you want to live. What I care about is like no recognition for accountability. You chose how you want to live. It doesn't mean that you get to choose the consequences that may come with it.
Hey, no. What?
Here's the game.
So you gonna be here asking for fucking money? So you feel comfortable asking for fucking money? She's fucking selling flowers. Go back to work, fucking lazy ass. What is the problem?
Play.
He's in the forest right now. Again. No, doesn't look like it. He's just stealing the flowers right now.
Hey!
He's
absolute entitlement. Okay. One, at least that other person was selling a service or a product. You are literally just begging for money. And for your rent, your incompetent self is begging for rent. $500 rent. $500. You think people are going to pay for your rent? This is the absolute entitlement, right? This is the absolute entitlement. So instead of getting a job to pay for your rent, okay, you want to beg others to help you out. And this is why, I'm sorry, this is why I don't give money to people who beg. I don't give money to people who beg. I don't. I mean, I may have a soft heart for like children, but adults, I'm sorry. I don't give a shit what your sob story is. I don't give money to adults that beg. You begging for money on the streets? Well, you must have done something, because you can see his personality, right? You can see the type of character he is. So no wonder he has no job. Okay, anger issues. No wonder he has no job. It's like absolute lazy, begging people for money. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. These are the absolute Karens of the world. It's like disgusting, right? People like this is absolutely, utterly disgusting, and they have still the same the audacity, the attitude, the disgustingness to, one, stop them from working, from doing whatever they do to make their earning living. They're not begging it. They're selling a product, okay? And then you continue to do it, right? Destroy everything that they try to do. Absolutely disgusting. At least they're trying, right? At least they're trying. They're doing something. It's an exchange of goods and services. Well, you are just begging, right? It's not like you're trying to clean people's cars. You're just begging. These people are disgusting.
I never intended to harm Tatiana Zek, and I'm so sorry that she has lost her life. I am very sorry to the Fond du Lac community for acting so recklessly and not thinking. Me being 17 years old, I have been through trials and tribulations in my life, and I have been put in situations where I had to think, and that situation that occurred on May 7th was one of those situations that I should have thought and proceeded with my day, but my actions showed otherwise, and that is why I'm here in front of you today, Honorable Judge Levy. I admitted my guilt, and I am so very sorry to the community and to the entire Zek family and anybody else who has been affected by this tragedy. They're not the only ones that have been affected. My life has been affected. Perry's, Larry's life has been affected. Also his family and mine.
You can take a moment. You have the floor until you tell me you're done.
I'm sorry. I'm not here in front of you with a piece of paper that everything could be fabricated about. I am speaking genuinely from the heart, and I understand that you have a job to do today. I just hope that you could be lenient enough and allow me to be released at or after the 20-year mark. I know you don't have any obligations to do so, but I really assure you that the time being spent in the Fond du Lac County Jail and my future would be in any prison or maximum facility, that I will be well rehabilitated and that I will grow as a man, and I am learning and I have learned from my mistakes.
I'll start by acknowledging that he too is incredibly young. 17 at the time, 19 now. He has not, I believe, have any prior criminal history, no prior juvenile history. The court is going to order life imprisonment without the possibility of extended supervision. I recognize that that is not what the state is requesting. I recognize it is not what the defense is requesting. The court is required to sentence in a manner that provides a minimal amount of incarceration to the extent that is necessary.
All right, so I'm going to preface my opinion on, I don't really know this, and I'm not trying to look it up, but I just wanted to, it's more like a glancery opinion, because she also said at the end, it's not what the state wants. Is that what the law wants? I mean, is that what the law dictates? And the defense, of course, why would you listen to the defense, right? When you're making your decision necessarily. Why would you cater to the defense? But this is my opinion is really on the overarching thing with our system, okay? I believe if you committed a crime as a minor, even if it's murder, you should have the ability for parole, right? For good behavior, for how you go about things. I believe you should have, maybe you could have a lifelong sentence, but you should have the ability for parole, ability for, good behavior, right? Or reform behavior. So I believe that. But this is my thing where, this is my problem with our justice system. I don't even know how we could solve it, right? Should we go AI where it's not so, sometimes I feel like judges, they're not really basing their decisions on, I don't know, necessarily the law, but how they're feeling at that time. Because you could have one judge give you a lifelong sentence for a murder. You could have another judge, maybe for the semi-exact crime, give you 30 years with a chance of parole, right? That's the thing where I'm like, and I get it. I'm not saying that, I believe if you premeditated, you kill someone, it was not out of defense, right? You killed someone in cold blood. Yeah, you should, to be honest, you should be killed yourself, in my opinion, right? You should be executed. But again, I'm not sure if he did it premeditated or he did it on purpose, knowing that what he's doing. I'm just saying in general, because these murder cases, right? They're so all over the place when it comes with the judgment, right? And I find, like, I don't know, I feel like you could be more strict, right? If someone killed someone premeditated, boom, this is the thing. If someone killed someone out of defense, boom, this is the thing. If someone killed someone by mistake or, you know, in the heat of the moment, you know, they didn't decide it, right? That's the thing where it should be boom. That's the thing where I just feel like there's really no consistency, right? Two very similar cases could have two drastically different outcomes. And I said similar cases, right? Two similar cases could have two drastic outcomes depending on which judge it's presiding on it, what state it is. It's like, it's tiring, right? It's tiring because there's no consistency in our system. There's no consistency, and that is the headache, right? That's the injustice. There's no consistency, and that's tiring. So I don't know. Maybe AI would do better. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's crazy.